All right, guys, we're back here on Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel, SEC basketball reaction on a Tuesday night where there are 7 games. Several games already been played, and the Florida Gators are your regular season champion, no matter whether the Mississippi State Bulldogs come back here in the second half or not. The Gators have chomped, whatever word you want to use, their way to a regular season title due to Georgia defeating Alabama. We'll get to that. And, we were kind of talking before we started. We're like, usually we sort of go game by game. I'm going to be honest with you. There was so much happening, as Max said. I don't even know how it'd be possible for us to go game by game here, because this was just absolute chaos tonight on this opening part of the slate.
I couldn't focus myself on one game. I had a quad box going, folks. I had a quad box going of all 4 SEC games at one time. There were multiple moments where all 4 of them are in action at the same time, and I'm going cross-eyed trying to keep up with all this action as Kanon Catchings bangs his 15th triple of the second half, and then the shot clock stops, and I have no clue what's going on in Alabama, Georgia, and then I turn my head, and Oklahoma's up by 20, and then the Texas A&M's up by 20. Florida's down by 10. What's going on here? It was a fiasco of a 7 Eastern window there. Man, you get excited for March. And then March hits you, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I was ready for March. That was a little wake up call tonight with the chaos.
It was chaos indeed, and yeah, we're gonna talk all about it. And I mean, look, there's some chaos right now as Ole Miss got off to a pretty good start against Vanderbilt. So, I mean, I would say when we talked about it, we were like, some of these games are so tricky when you looked at these teams that were heading on the road. I'll be honest, I don't know that I gave much thought necessarily to Georgia until this morning when you talked about the opening line on this game. And I was like, okay, Vegas is telling us something then. So you better believe I went to FanDuel tonight and I said, all right, you're gonna dare me? I'll take a little dog's action. So,
did you?
Well, because you said that this morning, and I was surprised by that, man. I thought Alabama would be like a 2.5, 3.5 point favorite or something. So when I heard that, I was like, perk up a little bit, because I was not expecting that based on the Crimson Tide's performances here over the past month. And so that one was a little surprising to me. So you had that.
Yep.
I mean, I had said it. I was like, that Missouri game should be terrifying. Luckily, they got past the Mississippi State game. The fact that they split these, I don't think is the worst thing in the world. But, you couldn't go 0-2. Now they've got a big opportunity on Saturday against Arkansas. We'll talk about whether I think that's must win or not. I don't know. I don't know necessarily if it's must win. But you'd like to have it if you're Missouri after a 16-point loss at Oklahoma. Even if you lost by 5, you'd feel much better. You lost by 16, not going to help. And then, of course, A&M is going to beat Kentucky here. And, that was another one that we thought was just going to be kind of tricky for the Cats. And what did we this morning? We felt a little better about A&M seed-wise. Now I'm like, maybe give them a 9 seed right now. They may move up a little bit.
Didn't I say I was like, out of all the games? I definitely did. I said I was like super confident in Kentucky. I remember I was like, I'm too confident in the Cats, and you're like, okay, I'm picking against whatever you pick right now because I don't like your confidence. And
yeah, I didn't like that.
No. Like your gut was right on there, as Texas A&M coming into this game over the last month was sub 50. Like, they weren't even in the top 50 of Torvik in the nation, and Kentucky's top 25. And I'm thinking, all right, 2 teams in different directions. March, there you go. Look like an idiot, Max.
Well, I mean, it's early in the month. You got plenty of time to look like more of an idiot or look even better. You got plenty of time to make up for it. It's March.
That's the good thing about March.
It is. Tennessee did not have that happen to them. They took care of business 78-59.
Yes.
at South Carolina. So we'll just kind of go back and forth here, kind of a smorgasbord of things to talk about. I mean, there's just so many things you could get to. And you know what we're going to do, though? We're going to actually do something we usually don't do. And that is we're going to start with a game that is still in progress, but the fact is it's over. Florida's up 21 right now. Florida's the regular season champion. And so we're just going to give the Gators their props here out of the gate because tonight they're without Tommy H. A little precautionary. We thought that could be the case. No Tom H tonight. And so Sir Thomas sits out. Doesn't matter. I mean, what was it? Mississippi State was up 10 early? You're thinking, uh-oh, here come the Bulldogs.
I know.
Hubbarded. But not so much. Todd Golden got a technical, and what do you know? Things changed from there. So, yeah, Florida is your regular season champion outright after the Alabama loss. And the Gators look like they're going to win another one here, cruise to their 10th straight win, and then head to Lexington on Saturday.
Yeah. How about the unexpected Mr. C.J. Ingram coming down? Oh, we're down by 10 early. We started Micah Hanlockton, Ruben Chinulu, and Alex Condon, and the offense wasn't there to start with. Okay. That's crazy, by the way. Starting Hanlockton, Chinulu, and Condon. It's basically 3 7-footers on the floor. I know Chinulu and Condon aren't 7 foot, but still, that's just an insane starting lineup to view on paper with the amount of height there at the 3. But CJ Ingram, the unsung hero. It wasn't Klabchar. It wasn't Brown. 2 for 2 from Ingram. I mean, they were wide open looks. There's a nice pass from Condon out of a double. And then I think it was an extra pass from Lee into like kind of like the left wing corner. But CJ Ingram 2 for 2. And that's what kickstarted the Gators run. I think I don't have the quarter numbers in front of me, like the 10-minute splits, but that second quarter, the last 10 minutes of that first half, I think Florida scored like 40 points. It was bananas.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can pull it up because I think that is an interesting note. I was going to mention something along those lines. Let me see exactly what it was in that closing stretch because it was wild. You look at the shot chart too. It was just like, I mean, obviously I had a million of them in the paint for this game, but
right.
Yeah, like this is what they do. So let me see if I can find exactly what that was in the first half because they just went on a tear.
Because I know they had like 50. It was like, what was the 10-point lead or 9-point lead? It was like 20. It was mid-20s to mid-teens at one point.
Yeah,
pretty deep into the first half.
Yeah, so it was, man, what was it? Yeah, I mean, it was like 24-20 with about 10 minutes left in the first half. And then, so whatever, I mean, they scored 27 in that range. But even before then, like they were, I mean, at 17 with 10 minutes and 18 seconds left. So it's like they finished with 47.
Exactly,
so,
that's what it was.
Yeah. So, wild. But aside from this game, because again, I mean, what else do you want us to say?
47% from 3 for Florida, by the way, right now.
Still shooting it well.
Yeah, there's a lot of time left. But
so I mean, Florida being the regular season champion, I don't think it was any surprise. I actually went back yesterday, and February the 3rd, I think it was, we did our power rankings. I think it was February the 3rd, and we were bringing up the FanDuel odds for the SEC winner. At the time, that was the first time I think Florida had moved to like minus, like a sizable minus number, where it was like, it wasn't even, it wasn't like 1,400 or anything, but it was like 230 or something like that. And so Texas A&M was the second team at the time. And they were like plus 210. Florida's like minus 230. And like, I'm just at the time, we're like, I mean, come on. Like, guys, no one's catching them. And that was a month ago. And you just kind of, you felt that turn coming. And that's exactly how it's played out. So
in Mother Carol's challenge, did you do Florida? Did you pick Florida to win the regular season? I know I did.
I would have picked Florida or Alabama. It would have been one of the two. I think I probably. When did we do that?
We did that.
Do we do that
whenever we
before
did
SEC
Mother
play?
Carol? Yeah, before SEC play on her Legend show. Because one of my bold takes this year that looked absolutely awful after January 3rd was that Florida was going to flirt with an undefeated SEC season and win the league by margin. And after January 3rd, and they start 0-1, I'm thinking, you got to be kidding me. And then they do exactly that. They don't flirt with the undefeated season, but win the league by margin is exactly what they did.
Knowing me, I don't know if I would have said Alabama, though, now that I think about it. Because I'm like, they had just, I don't know who I would have said.
Gators.
We'll find it. We'll find the tape. Okay, so Florida's the champion. We'll talk more about that. Celebration for the Gators tomorrow morning, perhaps. They still got 8 minutes to go in this game, but they could lose this game by 80 and still be the regular season champion. So there you have it. The Gators are the champs. All right, let's talk about Georgia. Got some Georgia fans hopping in. Good to see you guys. We'd like to see you more often around these parts. Georgia gets the big win. We can go ahead and put the Sharpie on the Bulldogs. What do we pick them for their seed this morning? What do we say? 9?
I think so.
I think we went 9 seed. Can we get Georgia to a 7 seed? Can we get them out of this 8-9 game?
The Dogs.
Because they're not falling down at this point, I don't think. They do go play some Dogs on Saturday in Mississippi State, but a good win. And that's the thing, man. You think about it. Georgia lost 5 of 6. And our biggest thing was like, hey, you got to start winning some games here. And look what they've done. They've beaten Kentucky on the road, Texas at home. They've beaten Alabama at home now. They have the loss at Vanderbilt by 8. No shame in that. Okay. And they beat South Carolina by as many points as they should have beaten South Carolina by. So they have done, they have completed the task. Since Valentine's Day, their hearts were broken. They lost at Oklahoma. Season's over. But since then, love is in the air. So, love is in the air.
I may or may not have a nice submarine sandwich waiting for me tomorrow based on that over, Blake. 98-88. Come on. That was never in doubt. That was never in doubt. Kanon Catchings playing like an all SEC player on the wing there. Well, he's kind of stretched 4, but you know what I mean. Oh my gosh. Did you see that Sompto surreal block on Amari Allen live? When Amari Allen goes in for a slam dunk, tries to posterize Sompto. And you guys know, I love Amari Allen. One of my favorite players in college basketball this year. Sompto surreal. Sends him down. I mean, it was one of the best projections I've seen. Goes in for a slam, two-handed, just stonewall. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to mention that tonight. It was one of the better defensive plays I saw tonight. But Blake, when we did our brackets, our gut brackets early in the year, and Georgia's in the 8-9, or they're in the 7-10. Against in Iowa, against Miami, we were picking against them in a lot of those, just hadn't seen it yet. We're picking them now. I love Georgia for a first round game. And honestly, if you're a 1 seed or a 2 seed that is maybe, struggles a little bit against pace and playmaking guards, Georgia's a tough team. Even Justin Abson's playing well lately. Like Kareem Stagg, some depth off the bench. Like, I get worried every time I do this because I just said that about Missouri, that I really started liking them, and then something happens to them. But the pieces are there. Just got to get it consistent.
Like we got some superstition here where it's like, I don't want to talk great about a team because somehow we're going to jinx them. And we're just trying.
Georgia, Missouri, and Texas, one of those teams has the formula to do a little something in March.
If you're Georgia and you're looking at the 2 seeds right now, updated Lenardi today. Illinois, you're not going to play Florida. Houston, Michigan State. If they can get to the 7-10. Because honestly, I don't love them much in the 1-8-9. Unless it's... I don't love them. I just be honest. I don't know if I love them in the 1 versus 8-9. No matter who the 1 is. But if they could get to a 7... potentially. Something to think about.
I do think they can get off this 9 line fairly easily with the other teams around them losing. Missouri and NC State lately. And didn't Clemson lose tonight at North Carolina? I mean, it wasn't by margin, so it's not going to ding them, but they certainly don't move up.
That's the thing. I'm just curious if they could somehow get to a 7. Because right now on those 7 lines, you've got that combination of Utah State, St. Mary's, Wisconsin, Villanova.
7's going to be tough.
I know. I just wish we could get them out of that 8-9. But yeah, I mean, I don't disagree here. I think UConn's the one I would. But see, I don't know though. Something about UConn, I don't like. It would seem like it's the best of the bunch, but then I think about like style wise, and I don't know.
You would need another spectacular performance. But one thing we didn't mention tonight is the lack of production from. I mean, like obviously we're going to highlight Kanon Catchings' game and 32.7 threes. I mean, of course, but the lack of production from Wilkinson tonight. I mean, if you said Georgia at home, the spread is 1 point flipping back and forth either way, and Jeremiah Wilkinson goes 2 of 12 from the floor with 0 assists and 2 turnovers. Well, okay, all right, how much did Alabama win by? So, like, the fact that they won without Wilkinson production is even more impressive. 98 with Wilkinson going 2 of 12.
I mean, think about this. I think easily the most impressive thing now is if you look at the numbers. I mean, look at the last 5 games. This is an absurd stat for this team because I think at times I remember you and I texting like what was one of those games early in the season where they started like 0 of 18 from 3.
Oh, I remember.
And you and I are like texting. We're like, oh my, I've never seen a worse shooting performance than I'm watching right now. And it was against one of those teams they wound up beating by like 50. But I'm like, what am I watching? And then it was like the Florida. I don't know if that was the Florida A&M game or not, but it was another. Was it? So
they ended 4 of 21 from 3.
Okay, but they had the 2 of 26 against Florida A&M. And you and I are sitting there like, what on earth are they going to be? Like, is this really what it's going to look like? Last 5 games for Georgia, 14 of 31 for 45% against Kentucky, 11 of 20 for 55% against Texas, 10 of 14 for 42% against Vanderbilt, 12 of 30 for 40% against South Carolina, 13 of 29 for 45% against Alabama. Are you kidding me right now? Are the Bulldogs?
When does that start? When does that streak start?
It started after the Oklahoma game.
What? Give me on a calendar.
February 17th. That was the Kentucky game.
Okay.
So are they the best 3-point shooting team in the country since February the 17th?
3-point percentage. No, they're 7th. They're shooting 45%.
Wow. Top 7 nationally.
Wow.
Georgia. Because they were not great early in the season, man. I'm looking here. 20%, 21%, 8%, 25%, 19%. But they have turned it on when they needed it most. Because you know 45%. What? Losing 5 of 6, they didn't have a single game in there they shot better than 32%. Except, of course, in the one game they won, and that was against LSU, they still went 10 of 25 for 40% in that one. So,
look at Robert filtering Torvik out here in the comments.
Unreal.
Come on.
Unreal. My goodness. The Dogs. Yeah. All right. Well, Georgia.
I think I might be doing a Sampdo Cyril NIL shirt if that is out there. I don't think I can exit the season without one. I think it has to happen.
Well, we got Georgia safely in the field now. When I believe 2 weeks ago, I projected Georgia would not make it. So this is what happens. I mean, come on, guys. They had lost 5 of 6. What am I supposed to do at that point? Am I supposed to say, oh, this team is the best ever when they just lost by 16 in Oklahoma? Missouri's hoping maybe that's going to be their thing now. They just lost by 16 in Oklahoma. Maybe that's all you need sometimes to turn your season around. So we'll find out. Speaking of Missouri, we're going to get to them in a second. Let's talk about the Kentucky fans.
The Cats.
You guys got something to say, I think, in the chat. quite a few of you here. A&M, 96-85. High score in second half, but not really that much different when it came to, man, you think about the way this game started. And I'm just sitting there thinking, you know what? Kentucky might just run away with this thing. The Cats. Great start. Exactly what you wanted. Came out. Looked like they were just on a mission. And then, you know what happened?
The other Ruben.
They got Rubened.
Yeah.
Like Dominguez, whatever you want to call it. Because Ruben came out on a tear, and then Rylan Griffin did the same thing. He made some big shots. Those two guys went a combined 9 of 16 from 3 on their own. Clements added, he went 3 of 6. So 13 of 28 for Texas A&M from 3 in this game. But those guys just, I mean, those were just, they got it done. On the flip side, Kentucky did not shoot it that well. I mean, Oweh had a great game. Modee had a good game, but you really didn't get a lot elsewhere. And I thought which obviously I'm looking at the chat, but like this had to be a very frustrating one for Kentucky fans. Like, because again, I think if you're looking at the setup here, you think about the way you started this game, and you were playing a team that, you know, I mean, again, it's not like A&M's been playing great. And I think to finish this game knowing not just that you lost, but to also just give up 96 points, especially again with the way that game started, that's frustrating.
Yeah, one of those ones where you just have to tip your cap to a good shooter. Given Ruben Dominguez's output, that was his SEC high in threes. Ruben, as if you guys have been following all season, you know we were highlighting him big time in the non-conference. He had that 10 of 14 3-point performance against Manhattan, and then the next week went 7 of 12 against Florida State, and we're thinking, oh my gosh, 10 of 14, 7 of 12? This guy's incredible. Well, guys, in SEC play, he hasn't made more than 4. In fact, in February, he hasn't made more than 2 in a game. So Ruben was super hot in the non-conference. Team started to get that scout down, and just like Blake said, you got Dominguez. Just like some teams get Hubbarded, some teams have been Dalen Swained. You got Dominguez there in the first half, and then every time, Blake, you know how when you're on the quad box and you switch through, it goes to the audio switches from each one to each one. Every time, I swear, every time I switch to the audio of the Cats game, the broadcast is saying A&M's just fighting harder. They're fighting harder. They're playing better, and they want this more. It was almost every time the broadcast was talking about the hustle. I wasn't able to listen to the entire broadcast because what was the guy's name doing the Georgia game? He was fantastic. It's one of the better color commentators.
John Sunvolt. He's great.
Oh my gosh, he should be getting the primetime featured ESPN matchups. That was one of the better color commentaries that I'd heard. Anyways, I'm getting carried away. They were talking about the hustle the whole time, pretty much.
Yeah, no, John Sunvolt, I think, is tremendous.
How do I say his last name? Sunvolt?
Sunvolt.
Fantastic. Fantastic. One of the better commentators I've heard all year.
Oh, he's great. We got to get John on sometime. So, I mean, I think from Kentucky's perspective, like, now if we assess where they're at as of this second, and remember, they're going to host Florida on Saturday. So you're going to enter that game having lost 4 of your last 6, right? They lost at Florida, lost the home game to Georgia, lost at Auburn. And so getting that Vanderbilt win in hindsight now is very significant because, and that had just happened 4 days ago, but like that's good that they got that one the way they did because, yeah, like I'm kind of looking at where they're at right now, and I mean, I don't know how any of us are going to project them to beat Florida on Saturday. I mean, the Gators got 97 points. There's 4 minutes to go in this game. They're going to score 100 again here. But, yeah, like, I'm just curious.
Score 100 in the last 30 of the game because they had 17
But like if I don't remember what we said with Kentucky today. I'm going to assume we probably picked them to be a 6. We may have picked them to be a 7 though. Actually, I don't remember.
I think we were split on Kentucky. I think we each had 1 and 1. I can't remember who.
Yeah, because like I think there's a pretty good chance they're going to wind up in that 7 group when I look at the teams around them.
Well, what teams are you talking about? Because when I look at the teams around them, also like BYU and
yeah,
they're also dropping too.
That's the thing is like look at this group of teams around Kentucky right now in bracket matrix. Okay,
yeah,
St. John's, who, I mean, had to survive against Georgetown, BYU, and Louisville. Like, oh, can you think about those 4 teams? And do you want to imagine the conversation we were having about those 4 teams 5 months ago? Like, I mean, those 4 teams are all on the 6th line right now with a really good chance to maybe drop. Wisconsin's going to jump some of those teams. So
St. John's probably the best out of the group, but they just broke a record for missed shots against UConn last week. I mean, they're a volatile group.
All right, let's get some super chats for Kentucky fans. So we didn't really talk about it this morning because I think the news broke after, but yeah, so the news did break that Mitch Barnhart is going to retire. Did you see John Calipari's tweet?
Oh, that little...
What an interesting tweet that was. Like, you want to talk about something like being just dissected. It's like...
What?
You just look at that and I'm like, wait a second. You didn't have to say that necessarily, but you said it anyway. That's like one of those, I know I don't have to say this, but man, I'm going to really get some people stirred up.
Oh, so okay. I guess you added that in.
I know we didn't always see eye to eye, but what?
I know we couldn't stand each other, but...
he'd probably rank in the top 5 most hated guys in my career, but I can't wait until he goes into retirement. So have a great time. All right, Shame Sticks is here. $5 super chat. Says the new Kentucky AD needs to can Pope on day 1. Gotta go. Good night, everyone. Now, does that mean Park Pope's got to go or Shame Sticks has got to go? Maybe both.
Will be interesting to see how it impacts the GM scenario there, though, and kind of all the back end stuff there to Kentucky that's been stirring up discourse as of late.
Yeah, what an off season it's going to be in Lexington. I think no matter what happens here, it's going to be interesting. So, well, again, you guys watched the game. You kind of know what you saw. We know what we saw. It was a good win for the Aggies. I mean, again, we always have a lot more Kentucky fans, so we're going to talk about that angle just kind of coming into this. But like A&M fans, if you're here, I mean, that was one you had to have. And we talked about it this morning when we compared Texas A&M's resume against some of those other teams around them. I became much more sold on the idea that, hey, as long as they don't lose out, I think A&M's going to be all right. And this, I think, gives them a pretty good chance to potentially move up here, maybe into the 9 range. But that's the thing, right? It's like if you're an A&M fan, what do you prefer? Do you prefer to stay on the 10 or you want to move up to the 9? I think you'd much prefer to stay in that 10 range. But, I guess when you're just trying to get in the tournament, they're in now. It's going to be hard for them to get. Now, I say that. Let me hedge a little bit there. You lose at LSU on Saturday. That's going to take the good away from what you just did against Kentucky.
Right.
And so I wouldn't advise that. And then you go lose the first round of the SEC tournament or something to, a 12 seed or 14 seed, whatever. Then that's a little worrisome, which I don't think they play in that game, but you get my point. So I think they just need to win on Saturday. Okay, don't leave anything.
Yeah, they played like a team that the season was kind of on the line there. They knew it. And I remember the broadcast mentioned, how much Bucky was fired up pregame, trying to get his guys going, coming out hot. They didn't come out hot, but they ended up getting hot. And the margin of victory here, guys, is important because when we look at our favorite new metric, the WOB, joking, WAB,
Wabe.
the Wabe, Is that what we called it this morning?
Yeah.
It's going to
the
morph
Wildcat.
into something completely different by this weekend. You had Missouri at 33. That's going to change. You had Georgia at 35, and you had Texas at 39. And then A&M was back behind them at 44 from that grouping, that little bubbly group that we've been looping together. So for A&M to get that margin of victory win as well, really beat that expectation, might jump another team or two in that metric.
Well, we gave the full bubble watch to tomorrow. But some of these teams had some pretty good results tonight. We'll see what it looks like. Also, I think some of these teams that were like even, UCF, right? We talk about they were on the 8 line. That's where I mentioned Georgia and their potential movement up. And we could have said that for Missouri. We're going to get them to the second. But like UCF just lost to Oklahoma State in overtime. So like that didn't help them. There were some interesting results tonight. We'll get into that.
I don't think anybody wants to get in the tournament on the bubble. I think everybody just wants to make their resume worse.
Yeah.
It's
not going great for some of the bubble teams.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's keep your super chats coming. Is there any more here? I probably missed one. Brock said $5 super chat. Is there anyone asking for an investigation into this UK game? What are we investigating? What did I miss?
I would like an investigation into the shot clock at the Stag.
Oh, no, that ones. We forgot to mention that. The 20-minute delay.
Shot clock.
Not ideal.
Play 2 seconds delay. Play 2 seconds delay. Killing me over here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What is the BYU Cincinnati? Henry brings it up in the chat. Yeah, Kentucky had 6 guys. That was the thing.
Is BYU getting the BYU less Richie Saunders?
Down 14 in the first half. So.
Yikes, BYU. Yeah, see, that helps Kentucky. I mean, Kentucky gets smoked tonight, so does BYU. I mean, can't just, I don't know. All those 6 teams are looking bad right now.
Well, it's smoked. Easy segue there to talk about Oklahoma, Missouri. 80-64 is the final in Norman. And, yeah, I just thought this was a tough game for Missouri. I just, I know they were riding high, played well at Mississippi State, but, man, you want to talk about 2 teams that just feel like they're in different spots right now as Oklahoma and Mississippi State.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, we mentioned it, like you've been talking about the offensive numbers. Once again, Oklahoma shoots 62% from the floor. They shot 55% from 3. A lot of turnovers in this game, but yeah, Missouri just couldn't get enough stops. Like Oklahoma just kind of did their thing, and you just had a couple of those. I mean, look, the turnovers really hurt, and that's the thing is like you just didn't have enough consistency in this game on either end of the floor, and that was just kind of the story I thought for Missouri here.
Yeah, senior night for Oklahoma. Jaden Jones playing with a ton of emotion. He had a good game from 3 of 3. I mean, all of Oklahoma had a good game from 3. They're 12 of 22 for 54.5%. Felt like everybody was making shots. The team has changed a little bit here as Dayton Forsyth has gotten healthy. During that January losing streak, he missed 3 games, played a game, only 5 minutes, then misses the next game. He kind of gives them a different look than Xavier Brown and Nigel Pack, a little bit more toughness, a little bit more put your head down and draw some contact, drawing kicks and stuff like that. So he's changed the backcourt a little bit there. And then Jaden Jones, the 6'5" senior, he missed the first 4 games of the year with injury. Took him a while to get going, a little bit in and out of the lineup in January. And now he's had a consistent impact from the 3-point line. This guy's in the last, let's see, 7 games, he's had at least 2 threes in 6 out of the last 7. So you're getting multiple threes from Jaden Jones. And I mean, geez, Blake, I'm watching this game and they're throwing up Sooners March Madness path graphics, how the Sooners get into the tournament. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Can we get the Sooners in? They're playing well.
Is there, I mean, I say this jokingly, there are probably plenty of other options, but is there like a fan base that has had more of a roller coaster ride the last like 2 years in terms of like, what do we actually think about our program?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's, so they go 20-12 in their final Big 12 season, okay? They move to the SEC. They start 13-0. Then they're 3-10 in SEC play. Then they get to 6-12 to make the NCAA tournament where they lose by 8 to the defending back-to-back national champion UConn. All right? And then this year, pretty good start, 11-3, win their opening game against Ole Miss in SEC play. Then they proceed to lose 9 in a row. And now they've won 5 of their last 7, and ESPN's got a path to the tournament graphic. I mean, just, it's an ultimate roller coaster for Oklahoma fans. Are we going to have this coach next year? Are we not? Like, what in the world, man? If they go win at Texas on Saturday, that we have no doubt that they will win their first 3 in the SEC tournament, and all of a sudden, the Sooners are in. They're jumping that just terrible group of bubble teams that we talked about earlier today that have no business being near this thing, yet they have to be because the committee has to field 68 teams. So, oh, man.
When you put it that way, wow, that is something.
It is.
Oh, my goodness. Well, what the broadcast was saying was, okay, what is the path? Is there even a path? And what the color and the play-by-play decided on was that they'd have to finish out the game tonight, which they did strongly. They'd have to upset Texas on the road, and then they would have to win 3 games in the SEC tournament to then be discussed. That would not.
They're gonna do all that.
It would
They're
then
gonna do all of it.
discussed. Are the Sooners a team? So no, I'm not going to say that they're going to get in here, but I can palm rating a 48th. And if they do win a few more games, they're not. I don't think they'll make it, but they will be probably one of the highest analytical rated teams to not make it. They've turned the thing around here. It's just too little, too late. I think Lenardi said in the SEC headquarters there with Ron Slay, he said if Oklahoma was playing like this in January, they'd probably be in the tournament.
Yeah, I think probably so. Because like that's the thing. Like you look at the wins they picked up. They've won at Vanderbilt. They've beaten Georgia, which looks better. They've beaten Auburn. They've now beaten Missouri, and 3 of those wins are by 12 or more points against 3 teams that are projected either in the field or right around it right now. And that's the thing, is they also have the losses like at Mississippi State, at South Carolina. And, yeah, those are just ones that, honestly, even if they won those 2 games right now, I think we'd probably be talking about them a little bit different. But they didn't. They lost those
or
2
the
games.
Alabama 2-point loss or the Missouri 1-point OT.
Arkansas
thriller.
by 4.
Yeah.
Like, any of those. Like
if Missouri doesn't hit back-to-back buzzer beaters, is Oklahoma a bubble team right now?
Yeah. Fair point. What do we think about Missouri? Still be in right now, but
yeah, they're not knocked all the way out.
Nah. But I mean, I think you want to. I don't think you want to lose out. That's the thing now. Like, I don't think you want to lose to Arkansas and then lose your first one of the SEC tournament, because that's where we get into the bid stealers and, one of these teams that we just absolutely despise is going to go on a 5-game winning streak here somewhere and move their way back into it. So I don't know. I mean, I think that's what you got to protect yourself against. So
If Missouri loses out and then there's a bid stealer or two, I think that they would probably land in Dayton, to be honest. I
Yeah.
think they'd send Missouri to Dayton just because you're going to have a few bid stealers probably, but I don't think there's going to be a ton. But then like we looked at the bubble today, and the outside of the bubble is just brutal. Like there's VCU could sneak their way in, but other than that, it's like I don't think Missouri just losing two more games then gets them jumped by a Cal, Virginia Tech, San Diego State. That's too much.
I don't think so either. I think that's why they've kind of done some good work here recently. You don't want to lose a game like that, but they did help themselves with those two big wins against Vanderbilt and Tennessee.
Yep.
Even the 24-point win at Mississippi State helps them too, just because of the point differential there and analytics. So, yeah. So, not all bad for Missouri, but you'd really like to win that game on Saturday against Arkansas to just really kind of solidify, I think, any possible chance you get thrown into the record number of bid stealers or something like that.
Right.
You don't
right.
be in Dayton or whatever. So,
yeah.
Just do that. Okay. Quick thoughts on Tennessee, South Carolina. I mean, this was probably the least notable game of the evening just because kind of went about as expected. We knew Nate Ament wasn't going to play, but JP is back, baby, at 22 and 7, I think it was he finished with. So, yeah, Tennessee wins 78-59 on the road. This was just kind of one of those where you knew that South Carolina was going to have issues, I think, scoring enough to win this game, and Tennessee's defense kind of did their thing. And, yeah, the two big guys, JP and Felix, very nice game for the Vols, which, to be honest with you, I think we kind of said that in the matchup. We're just like South Carolina's front court this year it just hasn't been there consistently.
Yeah. Was there a record broken? Was there a record? I might be wrong, but I want to say there might have been I don't know. I think I'm wrong, but the efficiency between Estrella and Akpara just as a two-man front court, maybe just this year or something like that, had to be one of the most efficient.
20 and 26 from
that's
two.
Ridiculous.
Like a combined 20
that's
and 20.
Insane.
And you know what? That was the thing we got on them for against Alabama. It wasn't just those two guys, but you know what? We were just I said it because you were on assignment that night. You were out in Vegas getting the bully ball list ready to go. But I said it. I said, man, how many shots are these guys going to miss within 5 feet? And tonight they just came out and said, all right, we're going to shoot 62% from two. Those two guys in particular are going to go 20 of 26 themselves. Incredible.
Yeah, I'm already. You guys know me. It's March, and then my brain is already just thinking to Marple. I'm so excited for junior year JP Estrella. This guy's going to be one of the best bigs in the entire country. Are you kidding me? Finally, fully healthy, not dealing with injuries. This guy is fantastic around the rim offensively. Got great touch. Did Tennessee fans, was there any post-game press conference update from Rick Barnes? Just any news on timetables or anything like that? We'll probably.
I got one for you.
You do?
Yeah. Here it is from after the game. A quote from the Knoxville News Sentinel. He looked good today, but we obviously knew we weren't going to play him. Barnes said if it were up to Nate, he would have played today. He's one of the toughest kids I've ever been around. The fact he played the Missouri game after that high ankle turn, he wanted to play the other night against Alabama. The doctors didn't think that was the wisest thing to do. The right decision was not to play him. And Barnes confirmed that it's more of a high ankle sprain, but did not provide a timetable for his return. He was confident, though, that Ament could have played if necessary. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Barnes said on if Ament will return this season. I'm telling you, he would have played today if they would have agreed to let him play. That's just who he is. He just wants to play. So he'll be back sooner rather than later, I would think. So
I like that. I like that a lot. And Josh is yelling at us now because he told us this 30 minutes ago.
There was a lot going on. You know what? We have a lot of comments here. There's 650 people watching between two platforms. $10 super chat from Josh. Here you go. Barnes said Ament wanted to play but held him out. Okay, so that wasn't. We appreciate the knowledge, but we had a little bit more than that. He did at least give us a little confirmation there. I would hold him out to the SEC tournament and let's go. Estrella had 20 tonight. Big three of Gillespie, Ament, and Estrella. Dangerous tournament team. I don't disagree with you there, Josh, at all. We're on the same page here.
Ooh, I haven't checked the oh, darn it. I wish I had this on hand. Okay, Tennessee is number 1 in the nation right now, still in offensive rebounding rate at 45.4%. 45.4% of Tennessee's misses on the entire year have gone right back to Tennessee. That will be, okay. Since 2000, that would be the second highest of all time. The only offensive rebounding rate, well, not of, I mean, it goes back to 2000, but would be 2001 Michigan State had 47%. This would be the second best offensive rebounding team in the last 26 years.
Well, because you brought up 2001 Michigan State, I had to remember who's on that team. Let's see. Who was on that team? Oh,
who was grabbing all the boards?
Hold on, because that's gonna bug me. Michigan State, 2001 basketball roster. I feel like I should know these names. There's somebody. Was Randolph? No, am I thinking wrong here? Hold on.
I was 0 during
that's right.
season, so
Jeez,
I don't know.
Zach Randolph. That's what I was trying to think of.
Oh,
okay.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so Zach Randolph averaged 7 boards. Andre Hudson, that's right. Randolph was a freshman that year. Hudson averaged 7. Jason Richardson averaged 6. Charlie Bell averaged 5. Yeah, they had a squad. Who else was on that group?
This Tennessee team is on pace right now to be the second all-time offensive rebounding team behind that Michigan State team.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Not bad. So, man. All right. So Tennessee wins, and obviously Tennessee's remaining game will be against Vanderbilt on Saturday at home. We had our prediction earlier for the Vols. I think we settled on the 5 for Tennessee. I think that's still probably about right.
I think we did too. Yeah, we did.
Man, that 6 line is just 6 line's gross right now. So
it's a disaster, man.
I think Tennessee's going to be okay at the 5. I don't see them moving behind those teams on the 6 line right now. You know what the thing is, though? I said it earlier. One of those 6 seeds is going to go on a tear here and get to the Elite 8. It's going to happen. Like, the Sweet 16, Elite 8, it's coming. Because they're streaky enough that they're going to get somebody in the wrong game. Going to have a broken backboard.
Chris brings up a nice little question here. Why such a disparity between their offense and defensive boards? Now, I think what Crizzle's asking is the difference between the percentages on KenPom. If I'm wrong here, correct me. But how KenPom does rebounding rates offensively, they do the percentage of misses that you offensive rebound. So Tennessee's 45.4%. That's saying that Tennessee rebounds 45.4% of their missed shots. But defensively, it's what you limit the opponent's offensive rebounding to. So Tennessee's defensive rebounding rate of 27.4%, that's saying that they allow opposing teams to only rebound 27.4% of their misses. So it's just both numbers are offensive rebounding rates.
Yeah.
One's yours, one's your opponent.
All right. So that's it for the Vols. And, they will be favorites in that game on Saturday. Vanderbilt's trailing by 4. 12 minutes to go in the second half. I told you I didn't love that game either for the Commodores. Just one of those slates. You're just like,
tricky slate.
You can see chaos, and it's been chaos. South Carolina finishes at Ole Miss on Saturday. So that may be a game that's, I think South Carolina's going to be locked into the 15 or 16 in the SEC tournament. So, all right. The Gators scored 108 tonight, by the way. They put up 108.
Jeez.
108-74. Florida scores 61 points in the second half.
Man. That's who in Mississippi State?
There is no one that's going to beat them if they play like they played the last two games. Apologies to any Duke fans that are watching. You're going to get Condon. You're going to get Ruben. Haupt. Any other name you want to throw in there.
I put out that Florida 3-pointer by month stat on my Twitter, and everyone was like, okay, so that means that they're going to regress back to their mean. And then all the Florida fans were like, no, this has been a progression to the mean. And now we're here at what we're going to shoot. And it was a little bit of a back and forth between, is Florida's 3-point percentage going to come back down? Or is this just the result of a brand new backcourt that's playing their last year's power forward at their wing, and it took a while for the offense to get comfortable? I think it's a bit more of the latter there, as the Gators end with a 36.4% performance from three. It was much higher than that all game. They missed a few late there. It's the difference is the bench. The difference is the bench shooting.
I'm just running through all of Anthony's comments here where we're, I said you get Condon, you're getting Haupt, Ruben, and it's just going through all of them. Fland, Lead, Clapchard, Brown, like you just through all of them. He's going to give me the entire assistant coaching roster. I have a feeling by the time we're done with this show. Give me everybody. Give me everybody that's associated with the Florida basketball program. Ingram. So,
Ingram in the first half.
How would we do Hanlogden? Hanlogden? That's
you know what I'm thinking as I'm watching? How tall is Ingram? Is he 6'6"? CJ Ingram. Yeah, 6'6", 205. Looks like he's 215 out there. Brick house. Swish. Back-to-back. No, Ryu.
We can't even say, we can't say his name. We're just gonna say he got 7'9". We don't know how to, I still don't know how to pronounce the guy's name. I feel terrible, but how do you pronounce the guy's name?
Ryu? I think it's Ryu.
That's right, isn't it? Okay, I thought I had it wrong. Okay, I think that's right.
Definitely not Ryux.
I know. I feel like we said it wrong earlier in the season, but maybe we've been right about that. So.
Okay, so the other night me and my roommate were watching Arizona, Iowa State, and Arizona's got this backup, Aristote, who's pretty good, comes in and shoots threes, and he comes in and knocks him down, and we're like, they just got this guy just hanging out back there on the end of the bench. This guy's a machine. That's exactly how I felt about CJ Ingram in that first half. Like, I know he hasn't played because he's got an SEC Player of the Year candidate right in front of him. But I'm like, Florida's got this guy that's been running around in practice all year. This guy, he looks like he could start at any program. The way he was playing out there tonight, I know he's got, some defensive, stuff that has kept him out of the lineup consistently. But it's like, geez, guy's not even playing for Florida. Looks fantastic.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, after this game tonight from Alex Condon, where he goes 26 points, 26 minutes, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, no turnovers. He's going to get some votes. He's going to get some votes. Like, I don't know what this looks like, but I'm telling you, my theory that Florida cannibalizing the votes here is going to lead to Darius Acuff winning this thing, and that's not taking anything away from Darius Acuff. He's been fantastic. But I'm telling you, I think that's going to happen. Even after, again, everybody's kind of wondering, well, does he fall after the Florida game? I mean, numbers-wise, like, he still had a pretty good game. So I think Condon, by now doing what he's done, he's going to take some of the votes away from Tommy H., and they're going to split some of those votes. Ruben, somebody's got to give Ruben a vote out there. And so I think Acuff's going to get enough votes to eclipse all of them. Condon's move up to third on the Ken Palm All-SEC team. He's ahead of Philon, ahead of Gillespie now, ahead of Tommy H. Wild.
He's been the Ken Palm game MVP in 3 out of their last 4.
Yeah.
Guy's stuff in the stat sheet.
Man.
He got in those 3 out of those last 4. He's got assist to turnover ratios of 3 assists, no turnovers, 3 assists, no turnovers, 6 assists, 1 turnover. Like, everyone with Condon just goes right to like, oh, well, he can't shoot threes or the 3-point shot hasn't developed. How about his playmaking developing? His freshman year, his assist rate was 10%. His turnover rate was 20. He evens that out last year, both at like 14 apiece. And now this year, assist rate is up at 19%. Turnover rate down at 18. For the first time in his career, he's got a positive assist to turnover ratio. Well, last year was just barely. But still, like, Condon's playmaking doesn't get talked about enough, how that's improved.
Well, just to pull up Raymond's super chat here, $2 super chat. Yeah, scored 108 with the leading score out of the game.
Yeah,
Didn't even play. Got 108. Not bad. Gatorbait. You just got subdued by Australian Alex Kondo the Conqueror.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember? A reminder here. We got to do our All SEC awards like Sunday night, I think it is, or Monday morning. I don't remember when we do it.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that. Yeah.
Tell me how you're gonna compile a first team All SEC and not have Tommy H, Alex Condon, and Ruben Chenyulu all on that group of 5. How do you do it?
There's gonna be some good players left off this list.
I mean, how do you do it? Because then, if you go the Gator route, all right, let's say you're filling out a vote, you decide that you're going to go with the Gator trifecta.
Okay.
You somehow have to assign 2 more spots with a group that includes Darius Acuff, Labaron Philon, Tyler Tanner, Jacoby Gillespie. Who else am I forgetting?
Amen.
Nate Amon.
Oweh.
Oweh's got to be on there.
Dalen Swain.
Yeah, he's an underrated candidate.
But just, try to pick 2 out of Philon, Acuff, Tanner. I mean, that's a very, very good point guard season that's getting bumped to the 2 line if you do the trifecta.
Yeah. It's going to be wild to see what we come up with.
I know.
So, all right.
Bully Ball Awards, too. Get your voting in. Next part CBB.
Get your voting in. All right, let's catch up on Super Chats. $5 here from Tyler. As people hate us now, wait till we go back to back. Go Gators. Well, we appreciate Tyler's support.
All right.
Land O'Lakes here. $2 Super Chat. Generational hate watch. Woo Picksui.
Who was he hate watching?
It's there are options.
Been a lot of teams.
You're an Arkansas fan. There are options. Josh was wanting to book with a $2 Super Chat. Book the trip to Indy because of the Michigan State parallel here on the rebounding. So, sure, go ahead, Josh. Leave room for Super Chats.
Going to Indy.
And then Josh with a $5 Super Chat here. Do you worry Chenyulu will get in foul trouble in the tournament? I think that's how they lose. He does a bunch of fouling and walking in the SEC. It's always possible, but it's hard to predict, I think.
That's the hard thing about taking a team run and then using a team on a run and then using foul trouble to like play devil's advocate, because it's like, what if Boozer gets in foul trouble? What if Lendabor gets in foul trouble? What if Mo Krivas gets in foul trouble? It's like, okay, well then all of those teams I'm gonna not put as far. I mean, yeah, foul trouble could get anyone.
I just think the way they're playing right now, there's just not anything I feel that comfortable betting against with Florida.
I would be more worried about a November shooting performance happening at the wrong time.
I agree.
Than a foul trouble situation where they don't have bodies. I'd be more worried about like a a 2 for 15 from 3 when you need a few of them type of night. That's what I would be more worried about.
Yeah. All right. Gatorbait 98 continues to bring up since 2010, Duke, no national champions gone undefeated in February. Yeah, well, that ship has sailed. I think that probably came from Max Barr. Let's give credit where it's due. Max Barr invented that.
I believe that's incorrect.
Is it?
Because in 2015, when Duke won the national championship, they were undefeated in February, and in 2012, when Kentucky won the national championship, they were also undefeated in February. 2015 was the last time.
2015. That's still been a while.
Yeah.
But remember my stat. The last time Florida won the national championship, they won it the following year. So that's one you can't sleep on either, folks.
Right.
That is 100% accurate. So there you have it. All right. Game still in progress. Ole Miss, Vanderbilt. LSU's up 2 at Auburn with 8 minutes to go in the first half. I don't know.
Ole Miss, Vandy. We circled that one.
That was a tough one. That was a tough one for the Commodores.
Yep.
So, and you know what? There are people who are going to be like, hey, remember when we told you in the chat Vanderbilt's going to go 9-9 in SEC play? They lose this game. I think they're going 9-9. So, I recall. You were right. We were wrong. So, they better win this one.
I know.
All right.
8 minutes left. That's an important 8 minutes.
Very, very well is. So, okay. We're going to come back tomorrow morning, and we're going to give you our thoughts on those 2 games. And we're also going to give you a bubble watch update.
Yep.
And Max doesn't even know this, if I'm able to get to it. I did say this morning I'm going to try to give Max a bracket every single day with something we're going to do a gut bracket on. It may not be basketball. It may be something else.
Whoa.
And Max, it's going to be completely random. I'm going to pick a topic, and we're going to go gut bracket. I'm going to have a bracket for you. It's going to be incredible.
I might not eat breakfast, so I'm my gut's stable for this.
You should be pretty excited for what these are going to be. Some of them will be completely absurd, but we are filling out a bracket every single day. All right? It may not be a tournament bracket, but we're going to all fill out a fun bracket, so get ready for that. So,
I love how the frequency that you hear and see the word bracket just shoots through the roof once the calendar. It's just such a great word. I need that word more in my life, and it is at its highest in March.
Yeah.
What a time.
Sean wants a colors bracket. A bracket just of colors.
We should do blue bracket. We should do a conference tournament bracket. Who has the most aesthetically pleasing conference tournament bracket?
Well, I'll tell you who's not going to win that one. That's the Horizon League. That one's going out in the first round. It's the ultimate 16 seed that doesn't have a chance.
Yeah, well, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So someone might be taking them on a run.
We're going to one of the brackets will have to be just all-time wrestler bracket, just for Phil. So, Phil, you'll appreciate this. I did tell you I interviewed Bret Hart on Friday, and so Phil will appreciate that. I'm sure Max has watched Bret Hart matches earlier today, actually. So,
I think I stuck him in on my incline treadmill.
Gatorbait asked if my thought on Florida being a 1 seed has changed since this morning. Well, yeah, if they're beating teams by 30 plus, I think they got a good chance to be a number 1 seed now. I don't know. I'm still. If they keep up this, right? I think this is an extreme to which. How you're right. Like, how could you deny them if they keep playing like this, guys? I mean, if they go win at Kentucky by 20 plus on Saturday, I mean, that's more impressive, I think, than anything UConn's done. So I don't care about the head-to-head on December 9th. So in that, I would lead the way for the Florida number 1 seed. So
I like this idea from Gatorbait. The last 20 years of national champ, that 20 would be hard to do a bracket. You'd have to do like 16 or 32 or something. But like a national champion versus national champion bracket. It might take us 2 hours with how much we're going to look at the rosters and everything, but that would be pretty fun.
Okay. You know what? Last 20 years of national champions. Well, we need to I think we would need to get it to like 16.
Or as Sean wants, the last 68 national
Well, that
champions.
ain't going to happen.
See, guys, yeah.
Yes, Phil.
Give me an
The
take
excellence
a
of
mile.
execution. That's who you're talking. That's who we're talking about here. I'll send Phil a link to the interview. But you know what? I'll make that the deal. We will randomize it. We will start with that tomorrow. How about that?
Okay, fair play.
Let's do last 16 national champions, or could we do 20? How would we do that? We'd have a bye. Top 4 have buys. Is that how it would work? I believe,
Well, and then
maybe?
you could do the tiebreakers based on who's beating who and everything, and
Okay.
just like
We're
the
not-
SEC tournament.
That's not happening. That's not happening at all.
Guys,
all right, we'll
think
do
of
a
how many
random.
things would make Blake do the most work with making this bracket, and then
No, that's the thing is if you want to bracket every day, this stuff's got to be easy, okay? So we'll do the last 20 because that does get Florida in there, right? Because if we just did the last, okay, so that's how we got to get the Gators in there.
oh, okay, I see.
You see what I mean? So
I see.
I think we have to do that.
Yeah.
So all right, we'll do the last 20. We'll figure out the bracket. That will be our bracket for tomorrow.
Okay.
Last 20 national champions. That's your Wednesday bracket extraordinaire. All right. Then I'll move what my initial idea was going to be for tomorrow to Thursday. And then Friday, and then we're going to do one on Saturday. We're going to do one on Sunday. We're just going to keep, like, I don't care if we just do a show for 5 minutes. We're doing a bracket every day. All right? That's the deal.
I mean,
All
you do not have to convince me.
Okay. All right. We're out of here. Appreciate you guys. We're going to go watch the end of these games. Yeah. We'll talk about them tomorrow morning. Yeah. We appreciate you guys. Oh, we haven't done the ad reads tonight. Oh, my goodness. We've been so into this stuff. And Collar. A-N-D. Collar.com. Performance menswear brand. They invented the Workleisure. Pants, polos, button-ups, quarter zips, soups, you name it. They got it all. Head over there. Wrinkle resistant, stain resistant, machine washable. Great price. SEC 16, 16% off. Over at andcollar.com. A-N-D. Collar.com. ROKFORM. ROKFORM.com. The world's strongest magnetic foam case. Extreme protection. Super strong magnets. Rock Lock. Secure mounting. SEC 25. 25% off. Over at ROKFORM and Icon Wallets. Take all that cash. Put it in your wallet. Premium Napa Leather. Officially licensed collegiate wallets. SEC 16 for 20% off. Over at Icon Wallets. Whew. All right. We're out of here. Appreciate you guys. Hit the like button on your way out. Uh-oh.
Wait.
No.
Wait.
No. No. What?
Wait. Just post the boy ball voting
Oh.
comments. Had to get that in there.
There it is. Go vote for the Bully Ball Awards. Our awards coming up Sunday night, Monday morning, something like that. Yeah, get ready. That one should be interesting. All right. Appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon. Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel.